A stunning revelation has emerged in the ongoing spy case involving China, leaving many questions unanswered and sparking intense debate. The Education Secretary has made a bold statement, claiming that a key security advisor, Jonathan Powell, had no involvement in the evidence presented or the substance of the case against two men accused of espionage. But here's where it gets controversial. The conservatives are pointing fingers, suggesting that Powell, with his desire for closer ties to Beijing, played a role in withholding crucial evidence from prosecutors, which could have led to convictions. The charges against Christopher Cash and Christopher Berry were dropped last month, causing an uproar among ministers and MPs. Bridget Phillipson, the Education Secretary, assured the BBC that Powell had no part in discussing the case's evidence or substance. Phillipson expressed deep disappointment over the case's collapse and shifted the responsibility to the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, stating they are best equipped to explain the reasons for the lack of prosecution. Downing Street initially denied any ministerial involvement, but the Director of Public Prosecutions, Stephen Parkinson, intervened, revealing that the trial collapsed due to the government's failure to provide evidence labeling China as a national security threat. The Conservatives have taken the matter to Parliament, demanding ministers explain the trial's collapse on Monday. They believe Powell's actions hindered the CPS, preventing them from obtaining the necessary evidence. Chris Philp, the Shadow Home Secretary, urged ministers to explain why they chose not to disclose the extensive information demonstrating China's threat to national security during the 2021 to 2023 period. He suggested that Powell's decision-making could lead to his resignation. The Prime Minister defended the government's position, stating that they must rely on the previous Conservative government stance, which labeled China as an epoch-defining challenge. You have to prosecute based on the circumstances at the time of the alleged offense, the Prime Minister explained to reporters in India. Several former Conservative ministers and advisers have confirmed that there was no official designation of whether a country poses a threat. They claim to have a document with numerous examples of Chinese activities threatening the UK at the time of the alleged offenses, which could have been used as evidence. Sources cited the hack on the Ministry of Defense, suspected to be carried out by China, as one of many incidents. It's hard to imagine any jury in their right mind would look at that evidence and not conclude China was a threat, a source from the last government stated. Former Conservative ministers also highlighted public statements, including one from the former head of MI5, Ken McCallum, who in 2023 described a sustained campaign of Chinese espionage on a grand scale. The Liberal Democrats criticized the government's approach to China, stating it puts national security at risk. They urged the government to block the planning application for a new Chinese embassy in London, fearing it would enable industrial-scale espionage. Mr. Cash, a former parliamentary researcher, and Mr. Berry were charged under the Official Secrets Act in April 2024. During the Conservative government's tenure, they were accused of gathering and providing information detrimental to the state's safety and interests between December 2021 and February 2023. Under the Official Secrets Act, spying accusations can only lead to prosecution if the information shared benefits an enemy. Last month, the Director of Public Prosecutions announced that the case could not proceed to trial as the evidence failed to meet the evidential test. This case has left many wondering about the role of key advisors and the impact of political decisions on national security. What are your thoughts on this matter? Feel free to share your opinions and engage in the discussion below.